Good evening, everyone. We're about ready to begin. Yeah, I will.
3 times. Bang it. Get the
All right. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Susan Pollock, the town clerk, and tonight I'll be serving as the temporary chairperson of the Stratford Town Council. I will now call to order the 52nd session of the Stratford Town Council. This meeting is being called to order at 8 p.m. on Monday, December 11, 2023, in the Stratford Town Hall Council chambers. At this time, I will turn the meeting over to Mayor Hoydick for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Lord, as we stand on the threshold of a new chapter, we gather with gratitude and hope in our hearts. We come together as a newly elected body, entrusted with the sacred duty of serving our community. Grant us, dear Lord, the wisdom to discern the needs of those we serve, the courage to make decisions for the greater good, and the humility to learn from our successes and our failures. May our deliberations be marked with respect and collaboration as we seek solutions that uplift and unite. Bless each member of this esteemed assembly. Endow them with the strength in the moments of challenge and grace in the moments of triumph. In the diversity of our perspectives, may we find common ground. And in our shared commitment to progress, may we find unity. As we embark on this collective journey, may the flame of justice burn bright in our hearts and the torch of leadership be a beacon to all. Guide us, dear Lord, in our pursuit for a better future for those we represent. In your name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Hoydick. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate those of you who will be sworn in shortly on your election victory. Devoting your time and energy for the good of Stratford is something to be extremely proud of. Always remember, keep Stratford first, and never underestimate the good that you can do. Congratulations, and I wish you good luck. The first item on the agenda is the administration of the oath of office for the newly elected officials. When I announce your name, please come forward, stand up right here in front of us to receive your oath of office. We'll begin with the constables serving a 2-year term. Mr. Frank Bavacqua, Mr. William Boyd, Mr. Richard Brown, Ms. Carol Cabral, Ms. Judy Clary, Ms. Laura Marcus Johnson, Mr. Ed Cinto. Next, we're going to have the Land Use Board Commissioners, starting with the Planning Commission, Mr. Joseph Garrix, District 1, Mr. Maxwell Doolin, District 2, Zoning Commission, Ms. Linda Manos, District 1, Mr. J.F. Ewald Joseph, District 2, Zoning Board of Appeals, Mr. Christopher Solhavy, District 4, Mr. Michael Carroll, District 5, and Ms. Paula Sweely, District 1, who's serving a 2-year vacancy. And the Board of Education members, Mr. Christopher Cormier, Ms. Jill D'Angelo Powers, and Mr. William O'Brien. All right, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as elected officials for your respective boards and commissions for the town of Stratford to the best of your ability, so help you God? I do. Congratulations. And now, the newly elected members of the Stratford Town Council, who will be serving a 2-year term, please come up to the front when I call your name. First District, Mr. Thomas Brian O'Connor. Right here. There you go. Second District, Mr. Christopher Green. Third District, Mr. Alvin O'Neill. Fourth District, Ms. Renee Gibson. Fifth District, Mr. Anthony Afriye. Sixth District, Ms. Carrie Whittam. Seventh District, Ms. Caitlin Shake. Eighth District, Mr. Carl Glad. Ninth District, Mr. Alan Llewellyn. Tenth District, Mr. Paul Aurelia. Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully discharge, according to law, your duties as members of Stratford Town Council to the best of your ability, so help you God? I do. Congratulations. You may come up and take your seats. Okay, so next on the agenda is we'll be taking, I'll ask for nominations for a permanent council chairperson. Are there any nominations?
Madam Clerk, gentleman among us, longtime Stratford resident, here with his wife, his 2 kids. He's a local attorney specializing in elder care, also partner in a small business. Demonstrated a long commitment to Stratford via his volunteer work with Sterling House on the Commission of Aging and the numerous upgrades made to the Baldwin Center during the pandemic. It's my honor and privilege to nominate 8th District Councilman Carl Glad to be the next Town Council Chairman.
All right, thank you. A motion has been made by Councilmember Llewellyn to nominate Carl Glad as chairperson.
Sorry, point of order, Madam Chairwoman. At what point do we offer any other nominations?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, is there a second to that nomination?
Paul Aurelia, I'd like to second that.
Okay. All right, there's been a second by Mr. Aurelia to nominate Carl Glad as chairperson. Are there any other nominations?
Madam Chairwoman, I'd like to take a moment, thank you, to nominate from the 3rd District, Alvin O'Neill as council chair. Mr. O'Neill has a history of previously serving in office and has had multiple leadership positions and has been a community leader here in Stratford, really for the last several decades. And it would be an honor and a privilege to nominate him to be council chair.
Okay, very good, Ms. Shake. Is there a second to that motion to nominate Alvin O'Neill as chairperson?
Madam Chair,
Yes. Oh, hi, Anthony.
I'd like to second that
Sure.
motion.
Okay, this motion is seconded by Mr. Frier. Yes, Mr. O'Neill? Okay.
I thank my Democrats for putting me up for that, but I'm going to decline. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. O'Neill has declined his nomination. At this time, I will ask again, are there any more nominations for council chairperson? All right, and I have to ask 3 times, so I will. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations for council chairperson? Are there any other nominations? All right, hearing no other nominations, is there any discussion on the nomination that is on the floor to nominate Carl Glad as the next chairperson? If there is no other discussion, may I have a motion to close the nominations, please?
Motion to close nominations.
I'll second.
Seconded by Ms. Shake? Okay, thank you. Okay. Is there any discussion to talk about closing the nomination? No? Wonderful. Okay. I will now call a vote to close the nominations. All those in favor of closing the nominations can vote by saying aye, and those opposed by nay. Those in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Very good. We'll move on. The motion has passed to close the nominations. I'll now call for a vote to select Carl Glad as the next chairperson of the Stratford Town Council. A, if you're vote aye if you are in favor of Mr. Glad being the council chairperson. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Okay. Do you want a roll call vote? We're going to do a roll call vote. Ms. Paquette?
Mr. O'Connor,
Aye.
Mr. Green,
No.
Mr. O'Neill,
Aye.
Ms. Gibson. No. Mr. Afriye,
No.
Ms. Whittam,
Aye.
Ms. Shake,
No.
Mr. Glad,
Aye.
Mr. Llewellyn,
Aye.
Mr. Aurelia.
Aye.
That's 5-5.
All right. Okay, so there is a split vote.
No, 6-5. Sorry,
6-5.
6-4.
Six-
Sorry, 6-4. Sorry.
Well, I'm glad to hear it's 6-4. Thank you. Are we sure?
We are sure.
Okay,
yes.
all
I
right.
just counted my check marks, yes.
All
sure.
right.
6-4.
Well, let it be stated for the record, first of all, that the vote is 6 in favor of Mr. Glad being the next chairperson, 4 opposed. Therefore, let it be stated for the record that Mr. Carl Glad has been selected as the chairperson for the Stratford Town Council for the 2023-2025 term. Congratulations, Mr. Glad. You may come up and take the seat.
All right, thank you very much. We will move on to the fourth item on the agenda. That is the selection of a council chairman pro tem for the 2023-2025 term. With that, are there any nominations?
Yes, I would like to nominate Anthony Afrey for pro tempore.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any other nominations?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to put my name in nomination for a pro tem.
Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that based on his 7 years of experience with the council and his dedication to Stratford.
Mr. O'Connor seconds. All right. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? All right. With that, we'll take a motion to close nominations.
Motion to close.
Second.
Okay. That is Ms. Shake and seconded by Mr. Llewellyn. All right, so we have two nominations. So we have two nominations. We open that to discussion on those nominations. Is there anyone who would like to be acknowledged?
Well, I'll tell you why I picked Anthony. And I've known Alvin for many years as well. We grew up together. I don't know him that well, but I grew up with him across the street for many years. But I would like to just say that I think that Anthony showed and shows every day great commitment for his community. He's also, working in Hartford, and he's a great professional. He actually put through a very good campaign, and he's committed to do what's right for Stratford, and that's why I picked him.
Is there any other discussion? All right, if not, we do need to take a vote on the motion to close. That has been seconded. So, Margot, if you'd like to acknowledge, we'll take all in favor signify of the motion to close, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? The motion passes then unanimously. We now, if there's no other discussion, we move on to a vote. So we have two nominations. I believe we then have to have a roll call vote. Is that accurate?
And just state the name.
Right. So Margot will call your name, and at that time you state who it is you are voting in favor of.
Mr. O'Connor,
Mr. O'Neill.
Mr. Green,
Mr. Frier.
Mr. O'Neill, Ms. Gibson,
Mr. Frier.
Mr. Afriye,
Mr. Frier.
Ms. Whittam,
Mr. O'Neill.
Ms. Shake,
Mr. Frier.
Mr. Glad,
Mr. O'Neill.
Mr. Llewellyn,
Mr. O'Neill?
Mr. Aurelia,
Mr. O'Neill.
6-4 for O'Neill.
The vote is 6-4 for Mr. O'Neill. Mr. O'Neill, congratulations. You have been named the pro tem. Agenda item number 5 is the selection of a council clerk for the 2023-2025 term.
Chairman Glad. I would like to nominate Margot Paquette as the council clerk for the 2023 through 2025 term.
Okay,
I
thank you.
second.
Mr. O'Neill seconds that. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay. Then we take a motion to close nominations.
So moved.
That's Mr. Green. Any second?
I'll second.
Ms. Shake. Thank you very much. All in favor of closing nominations? Signify by saying. All right. Any opposed? All right. The nominations have been closed, and we will need to take a vote to approve Margaret Paquette as the council chair for 2023-2025 term. All in favor signify.
Point of order. Just as someone new to the council, through the chair to the mayor, what are the roles and responsibilities of the council clerk?
Mr. Chair,
Madam Mayor, if you'd like to answer that question, I'll yield the time.
I'm going to actually ask the town attorney to answer that question. Councilman Green.
Mr. Clare, if you would.
The council
please.
clerk is someone you select, and they are, they handle everything from doing the agendas to dealing with constituents who may call, referring them to the correct council representative from their district, answering general questions individuals may have. They coordinate your business, not just items on your agenda. They help create your agenda when items come in from various departments. They also refer matters that you voted on to the correct departments or other boards, commissions, or committees to take further action as you may direct them. And they'll answer any questions you may have as council members as well.
Thank you.
All right, is there any other discussion? No. Okay. All in favor of Margaret Paquette, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Margaret Paquette is the council chair for the 2023-2025 term. The next item on the agenda is the adoption of rules of procedure. The rules of procedure have been distributed through the pony. Mr. Alan Llewellyn, you have a motion?
Yes, this one I would like to make a motion to table the rules of procedure and suggest that we discuss them at the latest as our first item at the January meeting.
I'll second.
Very good. We have a motion and a second. Are there any other motions? No? Okay. Are there any, is there any discussion of the motion? No discussion. All right, there's no discussion on tabling then. We're learning the rules as we go. All in favor then of tabling the adoption of the rules of procedure to our next scheduled meeting?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. The tabling of the rules passes unanimously. Agenda item number 7, approval of the minutes. These were the regular meeting minutes of November 13th, 2023, and the special meeting of December 4th, 2023 of the town council. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
So moved.
Mr. Green, is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Llewellyn, thank you very much. There's no discussion? There's discussion. Mr. O'Neill.
Yes, I have one question, and I'm not sure who to address it to, whether it's the mayor or whomever, but with regards to the grant for the police department for the traffic safety with the seatbelts, my question is, it got approved from the last time, but what districts, are they going to be starting in, and how does that work?
The discussion, it can only be related to the approval of the minutes, not as to what actually how things may be implemented.
That's a question that the town can get the answer. Margot could coordinate that information with the police department to you, but the item before you was only to approve the minutes.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Not to,
but I didn't know if we can speak to it or not. But that's
no, not under an approval.
all right. Thank you.
Is there any other discussion?
No.
All right. Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted? Oh, I'm sorry, that was already asked. Yep, I'm sorry. All in favor of approving the minutes as submitted, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the minutes are approved. The last item on the agenda is adjournment.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there
I'll
a second?
Second.
All right, very good. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much, and congratulations to all. Thank you.